Imagine you're scrolling through your phone right now. You see a trend, you think about joining it, but then your voice in your head asks, will people judge me for this? And just like that, without anybody telling you what to do, you've already censored yourself. Now, here's what's wild about that. You thought you were free. K-pop is often sold to us as a world of polished perfection, synchronized choreography, flawless visuals, and idols who smile no matter what they are feeling. It's a carefully manufactured dream, but in April 2023, Min Yoongi, a better known as Suga from BTS, performing here at August D, the song is called Haegeum, and today I'm going to argue that it is one of the most important pieces of social commentary to come out of the K-pop industry in the last decade, not because of its beat, though its beat is very good, but because of what it is actually saying about the world we live in, the digital chains we wear, and the questions of whether any of us are truly free. Let's get into it. To understand why this song hits the way it does, you have to start with the title itself, because August D chose it very deliberately. In Korean, the word Haegeum has two completely separate meanings, and the fact that they share the same word is the entire point of the song. The first meaning is the instrument. You're looking at it right now. The Haegeum is a traditional Korean two-stringed fiddle that has been played for over 1,000 years. It produces this sharp, almost scratchy sound. It's kind of raw, unpolished, and distinctly a Korean sound. And if you listen closely to the track, you can actually hear it woven into the production. It's not subtle, it's intentional. But here's where it gets interesting. The meaning of Higam is to lift a ban, to unban something, to liberate. In everyday Korean, you might use Higam to talk about the law being lifted or a restriction being removed. So when Agasdi titles his song Higam, he's doing something really clever. He is simultaneously saying that this is my Korean roots, the instrument, the tradition, the identity. And this is a call to liberation, a demand to lift the invisible bands that society places on our minds. Think about how sharp that is. In one word, he's reclaiming his cultural heritage and issuing a manifesto for his freedom. That is not just an accident, that is the genius use of language. And in the lyrics, this duality plays out constantly. He is not just performing music, he's asking, where are these bands you've placed on yourself? What are you afraid to say? Who told you you couldn't say that? This brings us to the broader cultural phenomenon that the song is critiquing. And honestly, this is part that I think hits the hardest because it's not just about Korea, it's about all of us. In the song, LSD uses the phrase slaves to the algorithm. And when you think about the context, it makes total sense. South Korea is one of the most hyper-connected, digitally saturated societies on the planet. Social media culture there, and honestly everywhere in the world, creates this enormous invisible pressure. The pressure to look a certain way, to have the right opinions, to be part of the right trends, to perform the right version of yourself online. And what happens if you don't? You get dragged, you get canceled, you get ignored. The algorithm buries you. So people self-censor constantly, not because the government told them to, not because a law said they had to, but because the crowd told them to. This is what he is calling out. This phenomenon where we supposedly are living in the most free, most expressive era in human history with more platforms and more voices than ever before, and yet somehow we are more afraid to speak our minds than ever. In the music video, he shows this beautifully by splitting himself into two characters, the rebel who speaks out and the authoritative figure who surveils and controls. He's literally showing you the war happening inside every person who has ever wanted to say something real online and then deleted it before posting. He calls out the flood of information, the overwhelming noise of social media that doesn't actually make us more informed. It makes us more conformist to the situations around us because when there's too much noise, we stop thinking for ourselves and start looking around to figure out what we're supposed to think. And here's the personal part. I think it's worth reflecting on. How many times have you had a genuine opinion and then checked yourself before sharing it because you weren't sure how it would land? That's the Hagum that August D is talking about, the ban you placed on yourself. The question the song is asking, when are you going to lift it? Now let's zoom out and talk about why this song is turning point specifically for K-pop culture, because the context of who is saying this and where he's saying it comes from matters enormously. For most of the K-pop's history, idols were expected to be essentially blank slates. The industry was built on this idea of the perfect idol, someone who is talented, attractive, marketable, and crucially safe. No political opinions, no controversial statements, no breaking the image. Any deviation from that would be a PR disaster and could tank an entire group's career. BTS themselves spent years navigating this. They were told what to wear, what to say, how to present themselves. Their label controlled nearly every aspect of their public persona, and they became the biggest pop group on the planet doing it that way. So when Suga, one of the founding members of that group, steps out as August D and releases a song that explicitly critiques the surveillance culture, he's using the platform that the industry gave him to critique the very system that made him. It is a 4-minute argument that the most radical thing that you can do in the 21st century is simply be yourself. The traditional instrument at the heart of the track is a perfect symbol for this. The Haegeum has been played for thousands of years. It didn't need to be fixed. It didn't need to be made more than Western or more palatable. It just needed someone brave enough to pick it up again. That is August D's argument. Your authentic voice has always been there. You just need to lift the ban on it. Whether you're a K-pop fan or not, whether you've heard the song before today or not, that message belongs to all of us. Thanks for watching.